What's going on, car guys and car gals? It's Lou Ramirez, the car guy.
And this is Fredlin Arts, the subprime hero.
And we are brewing solutions on a late brew on the Car Guy Coffee podcast. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. We are crazy excited because royalty is inside of the cafe. This is going to be a royal brew.
It's going to be a special brew for everybody out tonight, man. It's going to be caffeinated and ready to go. This way that you can get your work week just ready, and motivated, because here's a story that I think that everybody needs to hear. Here's a story that I think we've all seen and we've all witnessed. A lot of us out here now have become fans, of watching her grow and watching her share her story with a lot of people to the masses. And now that she's on this Clubhouse, telling you, she's really exploded since she's been on there even more. And I think her confidence and everything else is something that needs to be applauded. It needs to be talked about in this business. So, let's make this happen. I'm excited. Our good friend, Michelle McLain.
Welcome to the cafe. We are excited that you are with us today. Car guys, car gals, the queen is here. Go ahead and do what it is that you do, whether you bow, whether you wave, whether you say hello, but do what it is that we love to do inside of the cafe, and that's put your mug in the air. Look at that beautiful mug that she already has right there, and we're not just talking about the cup. Wig. Car guys, car gals, put a coffee cup emoji inside of the comments right now, and make sure that you all know that this is the late brew, and you might need to go ahead and jazz it up a little bit. Go ahead and turn up the volume. If you got your headphones on, just rock out a little bit. And if somebody doesn't know what's going on, just tell them I'm brewing solutions on the Car Guy Coffee podcast. Fredlin Arts has been doing his due diligence to share. So help us out. Tag a car guy.
Tag him.
Tag a car gal.
Let them know what's up.
And let them know that you are brewing solutions on the Car Guy Coffee podcast.
Woo! Let's brew. All right. So, man, I am excited. We have Michelle McLain, the Queen of Clubhouse. She's much more than just the Queen of Clubhouse. She's a beautiful woman who's really doing some amazing things out there. She's inspiring a lot of people, not just on Clubhouse, but on Facebook and everywhere that she's even reaching out to. It's almost like if she can touch it, she's inspiring. So how are you tonight? I
am awesome. Hello, superhumans. I am so excited to be here. You guys are such rock stars. Wow, this is like a humbling moment, really. Like I'm honored to be here.
Well, it definitely is a humbling moment for us. Anytime that we are in the presence of royalty, we are thankful to get the chance to at least share our very best message. And that's to make sure that we apply 3 F's to keep growing, because that's something that you have been inspiring people to do, to go after their goals, to go after their dreams, to go after the things that they've most convinced themselves that they couldn't do. You have proven to people that all it takes is just a little bit of a mind shift, and you can focus on achieving big goals and fly beyond your dreams.
No doubt.
And that's why we are excited to have you in the cafe, blessing the microphone, blessing the airwaves. And we just want to make sure that we are applying 3 F's to get that going. You know the deal, car guys and car gals. We're getting ready to forgive, focus, and fly with the Queen of Clubhouse herself. Michelle, you ready?
Yep, let's do it.
Let's rock and roll. Well, Freddie, you want to break this down a little bit? If those of you who have not seen the art that Freddie's been putting out there on the Forgive, Focus, Fly, he's been putting out some really incredible stuff, making sure that you understand the motions, right? You know what it is that you're doing. Break that down.
This is all love, man. This is something that Lou introduced to me, and when I really heard him break it down with his passion, I couldn't help be just like, wow, you're so right. It's exactly the path to take to be able to get to where you want to be, and to be able to have that keep growing mantra that I love saying. I have to forgive, focus, fly. So forgiving is forgiving everything that you've ever excuse me, like that, clearing your throat, forgiving anything that comes up in life. You have to let it go because it's in the past. It's over with, right? We learn from it, we grow from it, but we do not let it hold us down. So you forgive it, you wipe it off your shoulders, all that unforgiveness. Then you have to focus on what you want, and to let all that unforgiveness go, focusing becomes so much easier, right? You focus on what you want, and then you fly to the heights that you've always wanted to go to, right? So Lou Man, I love it. Once you do that, you're able to keep growing. So let's make this
That's
happen
right.
there to Forgive, Focus, Fly. It's on his hat. This is his birthday
Yes,
present.
yes,
I got him for
this
his
is
40th, right?
my
Little Forgive,
my
Focus, Fly. I put
birthday
a little
present.
40
I'm
on the
excited
side
about
because
it.
he finally hit the big 40s. Like 40s are
I'm a big
amazing.
boy.
I love the 40s. They've been good so far. Except for my, 42 has been a little rough, my knees, but I'm all right. Hey, life is great. So let's go. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's make it happen.
Let's do this. Go ahead and cross your arms, car guys and car gals. If you're in your car, just go ahead and do one hand on it. And on 3, forgive, focus, fly. 1, 2, 3, forgive.
Whoopsie, I don't even know it.
Focus.
Focus,
Fly.
fly, and
keep growing. Keep growing. That's
keep
right, girl.
growing.
You're
That's
on
right.
it. You did
Yes.
it so perfect.
Yeah.
Congratulations. You are now in the club.
That's right.
You are a solutionary. All right. I
Yes.
love it. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Man, tonight is Sunday. Sunday. I love Sunday. It's a good day. You had a great post today, and your post was exactly what I was trying to do myself. I was just trying to enjoy my day, and then be ready for everything that's coming up, recharging. So let's do this. This 5-liner is going to be a lot of fun, Lou. I'm excited about doing it.
I'm excited about being able to make sure that those that are listening and are really trying to hunt for something that's going to upshift and uplift them, those that are seeking that, they're going to get this from this incredible spokesperson for people that just want to dream big. And that's what we're excited to show off tonight. To be quite frank, we got a very special brew, and we'll write it all over the chalkboard or whatever, but you all got to get some of this. So make sure that you share it with your friends. Share it with your enemies, and share it with those that you most want to inspire. But let's get this rocking.
All right. Well, thank you for being here tonight. So my first question is my favorite question to ask. It's something I saw on TED Talk with Simon Sinek, and he talked about the why. The why is very important. That's what keeps you moving. That's why you're able to make those obstacles happen. That's why you're able to do that extra day or that 2 a day or whatever you have to do to make sure that you finish and check off your goals. What is that why for you?
My why every day is a motto that I have, which is just one. In 2016, I experienced tragedy on the worst level possible. I woke up to figure out that my husband had taken his own life. And I struggled with finding my why for a very long time. I know some people say it's family or kids or things like that. But for me, my why every day is literally to save one person from ever experiencing the pain that I've had to go through, and one person from taking that fatal step and saying, I can't go on, because you can. That's it. Plain and simple. Just one.
Wow. That is powerful. Thank you for sharing that.
Wow.
And I want to tell you that you are an amazing person for doing that. I know that you're doing that every single day, and know that that is a blessing that you're able to do that every day. Thank you for doing that every day. Wow. Just one. What a great way of putting it. Just one.
Yeah, that's it. That's all we can do. We can't save the world, but we can all save just one.
I love that.
That's a heart of hope like that is what makes it possible to
Green hearts.
I love it.
That's what makes it possible to affect millions with the heart that really just wants to affect one. It's all for one. And in the end, I believe that we are all contributing to a chorus that's for an audience of one. At the same time, one is the one simultaneously performing for the biggest audience of all time, and that's all of us. I believe that dance is something that we all find ourselves in and engaging more in when we are committed to the life of somebody else, to seeing the vibrant expression of who somebody is, genuinely for the sake of the person that you're trying to help, right? If you're really reaching out to help somebody, it's because it's from a posture of true hope and desire for their best, right? That's love. That's the pursuit of love. That's the pursuit of love that'll make a person, fight a alligator and literally pry open their mouth in order to pull out their dog. You know what I mean? That's incredible. That's love. That's the pursuit of love. You know what I mean? That's how powerful that is. And for the single, the singular. That's huge because everybody gets so focused on big numbers, but you can usually only affect one at a time.
Just one. That's it.
That's it.
Wow. Oh, that rocks me. Man.
No, it's powerful. You know, and this, once again, this is why I wanted you to be here tonight. And your story is important and people need to hear this. You're talking about, you're a phoenix right now. You know, you rose from the ashes and you're coming up and you're just sharing light and you're exploding light amongst not just one a day. I know you're doing at least one, and that's a great motto. And that's all you need to 1%. So I always tell, even I love that number 1. It's it, you know, it seems like a small number, but it's a powerful number when you put a bunch of them together, right? Every single day you add up 1 year, 365, you know what I mean? And just it just keeps going. A decade, 3,650, you know, it just keeps going. And then just imagine how many people that impacts on when they impact other people because of that impact. It just keeps growing, multiplies so much. So thank you for doing that. And thank you for being here. And once again, thank you for sharing that. I know that's a tough thing to talk about.
I promised I wasn't going to break down and cry tonight. So you guys are getting me on the edge of that.
Oh,
God love you guys.
just on the first question, Michelle,
I know.
we might want to go ahead and get the tissues ready.
Right?
Because I mean, your heart striking me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to be able to zero in that focus. So this is your one, go after the one. And that's ultimately how relationships are built. It's on the one-on-one, right? It's on the person to person. And so as we do that, we do end up having many people that contribute to the party. And we want to say hello to all these incredible solutionaries that are focusing and flying with us and impacted by the things that you're saying right now. Let's shout them out real quick, starting with a Facebook user.
That's one thing I love about StreamYard. They're a great app. It lets us stream out to a ton of places, but certain things in Facebook, they have to go in and say that they give you permission. It's an extra step, but we appreciate all Facebook users and everybody who's watching. People, we don't see your comments. Like I always say, we will be back and I will touch on all those and let you know that we appreciate them. Okay. Thank you. Just keep commenting. Michelle will definitely jump on. I've seen her put her hearts all over everything that people talk about. She has a heart of gold. That's why she is growing the way she is. She's genuine. She's a real person. She's tangible, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much again. So
she's
Lou,
royalty.
She's royalty. I mean, a bow down.
Yes,
I'm not worthy. You know, people always talk about us being a duo, right? We should be like right now, Wayne and Garth. And I'm not worthy. We're not worthy. Yeah. So, right.
You're dating all of us right now, by the way.
Hey, I'm okay with it. I love being where I'm. It's like, you know, I feel like we were the second generation of the 60s. You know what I mean? Like the 60s were a really cool group of people. They were really innovative. They were trying to change the world. They were, letting people understand culture is supposed to be blended, not supposed to be apart. You know, we're all supposed to encourage and learn and be open-minded, which is exactly what we were like in the 90s for me as a young adult, right? So
yeah, see, I was a 90s kid. I turned the big 40 this year. Like
congratulations.
I don't know if I'm excited about it because 40 is the new 30, or if I'm dreading it. But yeah,
I mean, you have to close yourself on the being excited about it, because otherwise it's dreading it. You don't want to look forward to.
It's just because we look that
aren't fun. Right?
We see awesome. We see our parents and we think about them at 40 and we're like, man, they were old. Right. But we're different than them. And I don't know.
We are different. I
swear.
I don't feel 40. So
I honestly don't. I'm 42 now and I don't feel it, but I definitely love it. Let's put it that way. I love my 30s. And just like you did, you found yourself in your 30s and you know where you're going now and you're very driven on it. This 40s, now that you have all that, imagine how far you can go. And it's going to be the best decade of your life, so I can't wait to watch it. We're all going to be watching it. So, yeah.
What's up real quick? We got Douglas.
That's right.
Jason Grimes.
Hi, Doug.
What? Oh, let me see here. We also got Charles Higgins.
Yeah.
Hey, Michelle, he's shouting right back at you. Charles Higgins throws that coffee cup emoji inside of there. Kenneth Dunner.
He's the scrumdiddlyumptious.
I love it.
I love his comments.
Syllable silliness. I love it. Awesome.
Michael Landis, thank you for being here, my friend. Where's
He's
Allison?
a superstar.
I hope she's watching too.
Yeah, they're great people. I love him and Allison. They're so awesome.
They are.
Savor the flavor of the awesomeness.
See what I mean? He's
in
got
your
the
40s birthday celebration. Yeah, enjoy that because it's coming. So you just might as well just make it as sweet as you possibly can. Let me see. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, we got Michael Lynn. We got a lot of great solutionaries that are in here, jumping in, jumping
loving
out,
them.
loving the
Appreciate
different
'em.
platforms that they participate in. Thank you so much for loving on us tonight. Make sure that you go to carguycoffee.com and listen to some more of this when it is recorded and released inside of the podcast and get more of the brew that's inside of there. But
Yes,
I know,
sir.
folks, you can't just get you one cup of what Michelle is pouring out. So make sure that you get the entire collection and share it with your friends and the solutionaries that you want to rise up with. If you want more information about Michelle, make sure that you stay to the end so she can break it down for you and tell you exactly how to make sure that you make the connection the right way with her. But we have to get to the second question on this five-liner. And I'm excited to see the path to making this happen. Michelle, how exactly did you get into this field of the auto industry?
So I was just before my 18th birthday and I had a car that I had bought on my own. My parents were those people that said, you want it, you earn it. So I saved up some money and I bought a car. And about 3 months after I bought my car, I walked out one night, I was waitressing in my car, I turned it on and the thing literally just smoked the whole parking lot. And so it was like 8:30 at night. And my mom's like, why don't we stop at a dealership on the way home? And mind you, they close at 9. And I'm like, no, I'm not interested. So I went to buy a car. Well, look at a car. I wasn't even 18 yet. And ironically enough, the dealership was like super shady. They had a really, really bad F&I manager. And he's like, oh, you turn 18 in 2 weeks. No worries. We'll just post-date the paperwork and you can buy a car tonight. Needless to say, I didn't buy a car. And my mom was so appalled by the whole scenario that she's like, absolutely not. We're not doing business with this dealership. Well, salesman called me a couple times. Sales manager called me a couple of times. And I said, listen, stop calling my phone. I'm not buying a car from you. So the third time the sales manager calls me, he goes, wait, don't hang up. I'm not calling to ask you if you'll buy a car. I'm asking if I can sell you a job. And that was kind of it. They offered to pay for my school. They said if I stayed 6 months and sold an average of 10 cars a month, they would reimburse me for my education. So I got an English degree, a marketing degree, a minor in business legal studies on the dealership. And the 6 months I had planned on staying ended up turning into a lifelong career up until I started my own business. Pretty crazy.
Wow, what a story.
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. Wow.
Yeah. Sold
So
14 and a half cars my first month, 22 my second, and
Holy crap.
month my third. So
wow. And you came in banging like that. That's impressive. And I believe that. There's no doubt. You could tell, you could tell when somebody speaks their confidence in it. There's something car guy to car guy, car gal to car gal, whatever it is, car person to car person. It's awesome to witness what you're talking about. And you see it and it's fun. There's nothing better than coming in the business in your first month, you hit 14 and a half cars your first month. You're like, hold on, this is too simple.
No training, mind you. I mean, I was literally like a guppy in a Shark Tank. And I was the only female on the floor. That was back in end of 2000.
The demographics.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah,
wow. How many total sales people were on the floor?
Well, we had 15. Yeah, 15.
15, and you were the only lady
female
on the land.
Killing
and I was
it.
the only one under the age of 21. I was 18.
Yeah, you were still essentially a child.
I was a baby. Had no idea what I was doing. They're like, just go talk to people. You'll sell cars.
And you did.
That's what I did. I went and talked to people and I sold cars.
So. It's a beautiful thing.
I mean, again, we don't need many commercials for people to try to jump into this business than testimonies like that to just say, look, I was a kind of a teenager. I was still really a kid. I jumped in. They said, here's this, here's that. And now I sold 14 cars. 14 cars on the average, folks. Is
and 29 grand in gross in that.
Yeah, that's a very good place in life to all of a sudden jump into. People work a long time and don't get to
you were like
of that.
You've been stuck in this business ever since. You're never going to get out of it.
It's a boomerang business. Like you can't, like I even started my own company you know, almost 7 years ago now. And I still,
So amazing.
like, most of my clients are automotive. I love this business. The auto industry, in my opinion, has hands down the best industry in the world. I don't ever want to not be part of the auto fam ever.
That is my girl. So to expand on the story, you know, and this isn't going to be the third question, but I do want people to hear what happened after that and where you've gone, where you are now.
Right.
Also,
like to starting your own business. You know,
so you go from salesman of the month, and I'm sure you end up crushing the game, making all kinds of money. You're stuck in this business. You're a young kid who's making more money than you could ever imagine. What did you do next?
So I sold for about 2 years, and then I got promoted into a secondary F&I position. And I fell in love with secondary customers. I think a lot of times people run away from the secondary client. For me personally, I wanted to be the solutionary, right? I would pound and pound and pound and pound the banks and go, here's 10 reasons to buy this deal for one reason that you're giving me that you won't. And I was like the queen of rehash. So I moved into secondary F&I, and then I moved into a position where I was a sales manager. And I kind of bounced back and forth between sales management, internet management. I did some stuff with BDC. It's kind of all like a blur now because I bounced around different departments within the same dealership. I was kind of the jack of all trades. But in 2009, I found Subaru. And to this day, I eat, bleed, sleep Subaru. I found my brand. I don't think I was ever really sold. I started at a Kia, Cadillac, and Nissan store, ended up moving to MITS and then Toyota. But when I found Subaru, like, the game changed. I fell in love. And so from 2009 until 2014, when I ultimately made the decision that it was time, you know, to spread my wings and fly, I was a GSM for a Subaru dealership. I was basically handed, it was a GSM role, but it entailed a lot more. They were like, you have the highest CSI pretty much in the region. What are you doing? And I was just going above and beyond. I was sending out like handwritten, personalized postcards that had pictures of me and my kids and my dogs. And they were gracing refrigerators and desks. I was sending out personalized cards. I just was going kind of above and beyond. I was sending out thank you gifts or cookies or like just little things to make a difference. And so the owner of the store came to me and said, what are you doing? I said, this is what I'm doing. He said, great. You're going to handle the CSI and KPI for the whole store. And I'm like, wonderful. So ultimately, they ended up over promising a whole lot of things. In 90 days, I took the store from a subpar CSI score to number 2 in the region, got them their stair step bonus, and all of that money that had been promised me kind of just went to the wayside. And I walked in with an ultimatum, and I said, either you cut me the check right now for what I was promised, or I walk out that door. And I threw my demo keys at the GM. And I said, that's it. I'm done. I'm better than this. I can do this for every dealership in the country. I do not need you. They threw my demo keys back at me and said, oh no, they never wrote the check. They threw my demo keys back at me and said, do you really want to do this? At least think about it for the weekend. The grass isn't greener. We'll see what we can do. And I said, I'm going to see myself right out the door, and I'm going to launch my own company. And that was it. I walked away. I had a cushy salary, cushy office, the whole 9, and it broke my heart because I loved my clients. To this day, I still have clients that call me for referrals when they're buying cars because I did them right. And but yeah, at 2014, I was out. I'm like, no more. I'm done. Like, I love y'all. I love the car business. I'm better than this. And I walked away.
Man, you know, I'm so proud of that whole story about what you're just talking about. That is powerful. And I'm going to tell you, it takes a lot of guts in this business, because us men especially have made it tough for women for that to happen in this business. But you have you made sure it happened, and that's powerful. That shows so much inside of you. I love that gusto. You know, from when you telling that story, and you know, you went through everything, and you're talking about leaving, you're talking about becoming salesman. She did all this without any real training. Okay, guys, listen. This means that you came in, and reason why you're successful is because you did the stuff that most of the old car guys and car gals wouldn't do. Is tell the truth, go above and beyond, follow up, call your customers when you say you're going to call them, make sure that the delivery process is done correctly and they're happy. making sure that after if they have any issues, they call you and you make sure that you do everything you can to help them find a solution. You're a true solutionary, and I love that. And just talking about that, I know that you did, you know what that is? It's what's so crazy. And the craziest thing about all that is that that's just human being traits. That's called being good to one human being, giving what you want back, what you would expect. When you do that, and that's what she did. She just was probably like, listen, when I'm buying a car, this is probably how I would like to buy a car and be treated. And you did that for people. That's my guess. I'm sure I'm right.
That was it.
Right.
I didn't really do anything special. I was good to people.
That is special. It's so crazy how that is actually a special trait, though it shouldn't be, right? But that makes you a superstar. But you exponentially, you 10 times it, like Grant Cardone talks about, right? You 10 times that. You made it even more. And you said, you know what? I know my value. You guys need to either give me my value here, and I'd love to do it here because I love my clientele. I love this place, and I'm doing everything I can to help grow. See, here's the numbers. Now, just pay me. No? Okay. Well, you know, if they don't pay you then you already know how it's going to be. So you might.
You want to know the irony of how that story transpired? 2 years ago, maybe a little less than 2 years ago, the owner of that dealership, right, who really never was involved in anything that was going on. There's 19 stores in this dealer group, mind you. So this is a huge dealer group.
Right.
The owner of the dealership calls me up and says, hey, we're having retention issues with our stores, and your name has come up in talks at tables. I would like to hire you. And I said, then I guess you have to pay me the $20,000 that you owe me from when I quit your dealership. And they didn't want to pay it.
They were like this.
And we're talking like thousands of dollars a month. Like they threw at me to do all of their client retention. I mean, I handled 3 years of client retention from start to finish for dealerships. And I turned it down. I said, I don't want your money. Sorry. My moral compass is worth more than the paper.
I'll take the dealership right next to you's money, though. Right. You know what I mean? So, you know, proud of you. So kudos for that. I love that story. Thank you for sharing that also. Wow.
Just tying that in, there's just a couple keywords that I want to make sure that we correlate throughout it all. And that's the masterful craftsmanship she has at being a relationship builder, a builder of relationships and people. Yep. And that makes up for so much more of the other know-how. Knowing how to connect to somebody and speaking their language is going to make you be able to connect whatever you have to them, whatever your product is. You can step forward into an entirely new industry, right? And because of your ability to make that connection with other people, you're going to see that flourish. And that's why it's like you have that scepter at the moment, that as you pointed, it is blessed and it is done, and it becomes, because now you know how to aim the superpower that you have. You're crafting. You're still crafting it. You're just now, you know, really starting to get a whole new type of step and flow about you. You know what I mean? We're going to make sure that we have a little bit more of a Car Guy Coffee habit inside of your life, where you get to hear a little bit more of us pumping you up and cheering you on, and seeing that the Solutionaries hear more of what it is that you're doing too, because this is what dreams are made of. Yeah. When people jump into this business, there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of fear leadership, and you help people to understand their own awareness. That's the thing that I'm just like, I keep feeling that awareness about you. Like you get where you are and where other.
Guys, you went and you muted. Can't hear you. Still can't hear you.
All right, you probably.
There we go.
You're good now.
There we go.
All right. Well, sorry for that. Roadcaster shorting out on us. We're gonna have to probably. Yeah.
It wouldn't be a Facebook Live if there weren't tech issues.
You know, this is once again the forget part. This is right. You got to do it. You got to let it go sometimes.
100%.
But I do appreciate you for being patient. Yes, you know, we're talking about some amazing stuff here. We have an amazing guest, and she's so gracious being patient with us through our technical difficulties. So thank you so much.
And sometimes, you know, the music gets played inside of the
the tangents of
I don't know, maybe sometimes just Lou talks. You know what I mean? And because again, I get very wordy as the salesperson that I am in trying to express the things that I feel passionate about, right? And that's feeling out who it is that is actually leading so many other people in a new way. There's people that are following you that, you know, for the most part, you can barely keep up with the amount of people that are following you, especially being the queen that you are. You know what I mean? It's impossible to maintain that many conversations except with a platform like Clubhouse, which, hallelujah, has opened up the doors for so many more
Yes.
people to jump into the conversation. And we want to encourage you all, check out Michelle and those rooms, and you will hear
Breakfast
some
with champions.
valuable stuff that is going to make sure that your day is filled with the stuff that it takes to make you be energized.
Absolutely. So, man, I love it. Apologize once again for the technical difficulty. Thank you for being patient. We're sharing the story of Michelle McLain. She's been through a lot in her life, but she still seems to always overcome and find the bright side of things. You know, it's optimism. The cup is always half full. And I love that about her. And she's doing that with grace. She's doing that with one person at a time every single day, making sure she's sharing that. So let's get to the third question. Now, my third question for you, after all this you becoming the superstar that you are, because you are just that as a person, as a human, and it translated into the car business extremely well for you. You took a chance on yourself because no one else was doing it for you, because they were trying to take advantage of you. So you went ahead and understood what your value was. You took that advantage. You went out and you exploded to the point where they're calling back, asking for you to come back and help them. You're like, not gonna do, unless you fulfill your end of the bargain many times ago when we were supposed to have a fair deal.
And there's honor in that.
Right.
There's the opportunity for you to honor, you know, and let's make this right. Nobody can say you didn't give them the opportunity.
I did.
I love it.
You gave them a chance, right? They should have just honored up to their side, right? But that is what's great. But during all this time, you know, we've talked about your growth. We've talked about where you've gone. I know you've had people that have influenced you, people that have been big mentors to you, people that have inspired you. You don't have to name just one. I understand it's a tough thing to do, especially because there's so many different seasons of life. But if you could think of somebody, who would that be?
Oh my goodness. You know, it's nearly impossible to name just one. I'll name a couple of people because without them, I don't honestly know that I would be where I'm at. I definitely wouldn't have stepped into my own. I definitely wouldn't have had some of the opportunities that I was given. First and foremost, Lisa Copeland. You know, it's really funny. Lisa invited me to go to a conference and I had an obligation. I was supposed to be in a wedding, actually, the weekend it was happening. And I actually severed a friendship because I said yes to an opportunity, something I was not going to say yes to. And Lisa said, listen, I don't care what you have to do. She's like, you need to be at this event. And that single event, me walking into a ridiculously overpriced house that I wasn't even supposed to be at. Like I hadn't paid to go and stay there. These were like private, like villa type resorts. And I'm sitting with Bill Schomburg. I called Bill Schomburg up the day before and I'm like, hey, Bill, we've never met in person. Want to go to Florida with me? And Bill's like, sure, why not? So Bill meets me in South Carolina. We drive to Orlando. We're sitting down at an Applebee's to have dinner after driving all day. And Lisa Copeland calls and she goes, where are you? And I said, I'm sitting at dinner. Where are you? And she's like, well, I'm at these houses. She's like, you need to be here. And I said, Lisa, it's 45 minutes away. And I did not pay to be in those houses. Like, I came just to check this out. She's like, no, get your butt here now. So we go drive 45 miles in rush hour traffic, pull up to these houses. And I'll never forget that moment. It changed my life. I knocked on the door to that house where Lisa was at. And here comes Danelle Delgado down this really long corridor. And, you know, I had looked up to Danelle for a very long time. We'd never met in person.
Like music in the background playing.
When wind blowing in her hair when she's walking in, like.
Yeah, right. I mean, right. And she comes and she's like running towards me and she gives me this big hug and she's like, welcome. And I'm like, oh my God, you're Danelle Delgado. And I come and I walk down this long corridor. Now, mind you, Bill Schomburg's with me. He's the only male, right? This is somebody I had just met, good friend, great mentor, spiritual advisor to me. And we go walking down this long corridor,
Love it.
and I turn the corner, and here's this long table. And at this long table are people like Lisa Copeland and Carrie Wise and some of the most incredible automotive like influencers and women in the world. Glenn Lundy was there, I believe. And as I turn the corner, this whole table of women stands up and they give me a round of applause. Wow. And in that moment, I can't even explain to you like what happened. And I remember going up to Lisa and just bawling my eyes out and going, "What is this for?" And she said, "Because you earned it." And I said, "But I don't know what I did." And she said, "You're just you, and we love you, and you deserve a seat at this table." And I cried for hours that night. Like I remember walking outside with Bill and going, I don't get it. Here I am. I'm like a hat, hoodie. All these women are like dressed to the nines from Nordstrom. And, you know, I didn't feel like I belonged. And I don't know, that single moment, it began this like trajectory shift in me. And it's crazy because less than a month after that happened, I was on a live with Danelle. And Danelle Delgado gifted me a ticket to the Morris Growth Con in New Jersey where she was speaking. And I showed up there. And that night after that conference, I get a text message from Frank Lopes' wife, Andrea. And she said, "I heard you're in town. You're not too far from us. Why don't you come over for dinner?" And I'm like, okay. So I go and I show up at Frank Lopes' house. And I'll never forget that night. We're sitting around. It's me and Frank and Anthony Alagona and his wife. And we're sitting around Frank's dinner table and everyone leaves except me and Frank. And we're standing in the kitchen and we're drinking wine. And Frank goes, "Do you want the truth? Do you want some raw and some real about why your business isn't succeeding?" And I said, "I don't know. You're Frank Lopes. I've heard you speak." And for probably a solid hour and a half, Frank Lopes just shot it like as raw and as real, tore my business model apart, tore my business name apart, tore my process apart. "You're doing this wrong. You're doing that wrong. This is why you need to change this. You need to change that." And I'm going, "Are you kidding me? I've spent the last 3 years trying to build this brand." And he goes, "Nope, we're going to scrap all of it. You're scrapping all of it. And you're going to assume a new name, a new brand, a new identity." And I went, oh, like I freaked out. And about 2 weeks later, I finally embraced it. And I said, "Okay, Frank, you've made a whole lot more money than I have. I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing and I'm terrified, but I'm going to listen to you." And I did. And out of that, Retention Masters was born. I changed my process. I changed our product offerings. I completely shifted and pivoted where we were originally doing nothing but like a follow-up type of a thing for dealers after the sale to I started getting clients that were more focused on brand strategy and trying to retain business from that aspect, building relationships, connections, things like that. And I have no idea where everything changed. I really don't. Damien Boudreau, another great human being, Ali Rita, one of my best friends on the planet. I don't know where I would be, you know, without some of these people. Brian Benstock, one of my dearest friends, mentors, my co-host on Breakfast with Champions, Glenn Lundy, Scott Simons, Liza Borges. These are all people who are in my inner circle, very, very dear friends of mine. And each one of them has taken a car girl who knew nothing and turned her into somebody. And I'm forever grateful.
Wow. I'm going to tell you something, you know, there's that saying, and it's something that I hear all the time and everyone's heard it before. And we all, some of us believe it and some of us don't. And I believe it 100%. Your network is your net worth.
100%.
100%. Who you surround yourself with is who you become. So love that. You have yourself around some amazing people, but here's the deal. They're around you too. So keep that in mind. They see value and they know that it lifts them up to be around you.
One connection. Like truly, you are one connection away from your best life. Like I preach that day in and day out. One person, one connection. Like never discount people. Like just because somebody is not walking on your same path or there's somebody maybe you aspire to be like and you don't think that you could ever connect with that person, like just reach out. Just be yourself. Be a good human being. Add value. Do something for that person without expecting anything in return. And I promise you, like everything that you put out into the universe, it will come back to you tenfold. Like No question
100%.
asked.
I love that. And it's happening. And this is just the beginning, my friend. This is just the beginning, my friend. We have so much to see and so much to grow. So keep growing, keep growing, keep growing. And I love that. And inspiration all day long. The people that you named in my heart are people that I absolutely love. And I see them, and they put out a path of light, and that path of light is so much easier to walk down than a dark path. So, and you're one of them. You're putting light out there for all of us to walk down and be able to see where we're going, so we could feel safe and we could know that this is the right way to go. And this business needs to change. This business needs people like you, like us, like Glenn Lundy, like Lee's, like every one of those people you named. You dropped so many names, Brian. I mean, you could keep going.
I need to say Robin Wilson too. Like
Oh my
Robin
God.
Wilson has been
Thank you.
she's
Epic
been such
AF, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, such a
I
big
love some
influence.
Rob. How can you not? Robin is somebody
She's
that
the reason that I'm on the Women in Automotive board now. I mean, she just kept pumping into me, and she's like, we need you. And I'm like, Robin, I don't have time. She's like, nope, we were going to make it. So
there's so many names. I mean, if we sat here, we can literally name names all night long. I get that. And you're right. It's amazing that you have people like that in your life. But once again, they have you also. So value, we all bring value, and you keep growing and you keep going, but you have to just put the work in and love. So Lou, I'm going to pass the mic to you.
At the moment, everybody that's brewing with us has the opportunity to have you still pour into their cup and give them a little bit more insight on where it is that you come from, some of the things that they can take with them to energize their life. We all know how incredible you are, but the main thing is that the incredibleness that is you spills over into others, and we want to go ahead and hit that cup a little bit and see what spills out inside of this next question. So, Miss Queen of Clubhouse, what has it been that has been the hardest lesson that you have had to learn, the biggest hit on the chin, lump on the noggin, whatever, that you have had during this basic ascent to this mountain that you're flying and climbing up? What has been the biggest or toughest lesson you've had to learn in this pursuit?
Don't chase the money. I think that was probably my biggest downfall. When I first decided to launch my company, everything for me was about like sitting down with an accountant and coming up with figures and projections, and this is how much money you have to make to pay your bills, and this is what you have to do. Everything for me, I don't want to say that it was all financially driven, but when I initially set out, I was setting out that I had to somehow replace a 6-figure income. So I had 2 little ones at home. I mean, it wasn't like I had like a big nest egg, right? I mean, I had a little bit in the bank to survive and live off of and pay my bills for a few months. But at the end of the day, it was like, you have to go from zero to action. So for me, that first probably year and a half, I'm like completely in the red, and I'm going, I have to make money. I have to make money. I have to make money. This isn't working. That's not working. I'm not making money. I'm not making money. And Damien Boudreau called me up one day, and he had me do this like I am exercise. And if you know anything about Damien Boudreau, he's very outside of the box. He's Ali Rita's coach. And I'm like, well, he's responsible for a lot of Ali Rita's success. I should probably listen to what this man has to say.
Right.
And I will never forget, he probably for a good hour or two, like sat on the phone with me, and he goes, Michelle, stop worrying about where the money is coming from, and you do what you are passionate about. And I kept saying, I said, but I probably said, but at least 100 times, like, but the day after that, I did that I am exercise. And what he encouraged me to do, he had me write down 50 I am affirmations, only adjectives at my best. Like, who is Michelle at her best? Trying to pull out of me, like, what I truly enjoy doing. And what I discovered through that process was that I truly loved connecting other people and seeing other people grow. And I loved creative. I was great when it came to like branding and design, and people would reach out to me. And I mean, I wasn't branding myself as a brander or a designer or a strategist or anything, but people would call and they would ask and they would run ideas off of me about their brands. And I go, this needs to change, or that needs to change, because I'd become the expert since talking to Frank Lopes. Right. And, but that's where my passion lied. And I was really scared to kind of pivot, because I'm like, but Damien, I've got this great 3-year process for every dealer, and every dealer in the country needs to be paying me to do this, 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 and this. And Damien goes, but are they? I said, no. And that week, I just said, you know what? I'm throwing out all of the coulda, shoulda, wouldas. I'm throwing out chasing that dollar bill. I don't care where the money comes from. I am going to do what I love to do, which is to help people. And at the end of the day, if I help enough people, then it's going to come back to me. And I believed that. And when I stopped chasing the money came. Like, I didn't ever worry. I never went without paying a mortgage payment or a car payment. I stopped thinking about it. And the less that I thought about where the money was coming from, the more business organically came to me. And that was it. Don't chase the money. Chase the passion. Chase whatever it is, whatever drives you, do that thing. Because when you're walking in your purpose and you're truly passionate about what you do, the money will come as a byproduct of that. Help people, period. That's it.
Wow.
You are so wonderful.
That's definitely going to be a clip that's going to be seen a lot of times just as itself, because car guys, car gals, and all you solutionaries out there understand that this is the premise of what a person that seeks solutions is looking for. They're not looking for dollars. Eventually, if the problem is so simple that it could be fixed by a check, it's really not that big of a problem. Okay. So the thing is people are designed to solve problems. The very word of God tells us not to worry about what we're going to eat, what we're going to think, or give our thought to these things. If he can take care of the lilies in the field, if he can make sure that the bird has the food that it needs to and it has the place to sleep, then why don't you think that he can handle those little things? You are designed to gain wealth. We are designed to gain wealth. We have been given the power to gain wealth. And the key is remembering that the biggest part of being rich is inside of your relationships. And the relationship being the rich part of your life, that's where you truly begin to find wealth.
Right.
Resources find their way to where people are. Okay. It eventually, like you just said, the money's going to chase you. When you're finding people and when you're making sure that, hey, I just need a connection piece, which is just dollars and cents to make it here, but we have a mission that needs to get done.
Right.
The money's going to find its way there, but somebody needs to be completing that mission. You know what I mean? A lot of people can write a check. It's different people that truly find solutions, and you're doing that. And that's something that we honor, but that is something that people have to get deeply rooted in their heart. That's not, because fear can get in there, and then you act differently when you're fearful, right? You act differently when you forget that you're loved enough for that mortgage to be paid, the food to be on the table, your kids are loved enough, and all the resources that needs to be handled for that to get taken care of will be.
Faith will set you free, my friend.
That's right. That's right.
It is.
And that's what you can do when you know your purpose, when you know what you're supposed to do. I love that Damien made sure to poke you inside of that spot to make sure that you were coming to the day with your true purpose, not your response to the storm, right? Your peace brought to whatever the problem is starts bringing solutions. Those solutions start bringing the resource, and it's awesome how that happens. I honor it. That's incredible.
Yeah, I mean,
sharing that.
like worrying about money does not work. Nothing like that. Worrying about anything doesn't work. You have to focus on solutions, not the problem. We talk about that a lot. We don't like to percolate problems. We do a lot of car guy analogies and stuff with the coffee stuff. We're percolate problems. Don't percolate problems. We want to brew solutions, right? And when you're brewing solutions, that's the way to go. It's just like when you're selling something, you're not selling anything. You're just you're solving a problem for somebody, whether it be finding financing on a loan, finding the right vehicle that fits their budget, whether, or for you helping a dealer be able to have more retention, right? So I love it. And, it's a special thing. It's a problem that you're fixing for somebody, and when you can do that and make it easy and simple and enjoyable, it's a beautiful thing. And you do all those things, and so having those types of people and having those types of errors happen, having somebody sit down with you and being able to tell you, hey, you know, you need to do it this way, like Frank Lopes and, you know, and Damien and all these people that you have that you can lean on. But at the same time, I know that in a heartbeat, if they leaned on you, you're going to give them the best advice that you have, and you're going to give it with all your heart and soul. And that's what everybody does. It's a
That's
partnership.
what it's about. You know, I learned a long time ago that no amount of anxiety that we have about the future and no amount of regret that we have about the past can change the present. And you have to live in the present. You have to walk in the present. You have to connect in the present. And, you know, at the end of the day, like anybody who knows me, my hashtag is We Rise Together, and it's We Rise Together for a reason. People know, influencer or otherwise, I don't care if you're the janitor or the CEO, like if you need me, if you just need somebody to pour into you, if you need an ear, like whatever it is, I will literally drop what I'm doing. Now, I can't do that all the time. I mean, there's people now that you know, they'll try and call through Instagram or Facebook and, you know, and it's like, you know, but, you know, if we put something on my schedule, like reach out. Like I am the first person to be like, hey, do you need something? If I can help, I will. And it makes all the difference.
Well, you schedule your life. Every minute and every moment counts nowadays, you know, and like you said, you live in that moment. So you're going to take care of that moment. So whatever you have scheduled for your life, that's what your focus is giving. You know, you're going to give it your full 100%. This is what I'm doing at this time. I'm going to make sure it's the best that I can make it. Right. And that's how we live. Don't worry about, because you never know what tomorrow brings. And yesterday doesn't matter anymore. It's over. Right. So live in that moment. You're so on the money. See what I mean, folks? This is why you need to be here tonight to listen to all these amazing, they call it a clubhouse nuggets, gems, whatever you want to call it. They're out of this world, amazing.
Connecting cosmic philosophies. I mean, literally connecting philosophies and
roasted beans that she's dropped in here.
I mean, it's really some good stuff.
I can't see them, but your roasted beans are actually up on my shelf. I have a Keurig, so it's like I'm waiting for my coffee grinder to get here now.
Okay,
you're good.
Okay, well, yeah, you have the rawest, realest of the beans, and I'm excited for you to get the chance to grind those out.
Me too.
It is a goal of ours to get to those K-Cups. So car guys and car gals and all you solutionaries out there, soon enough, we are going to be at the level
that will happen.
Have the K-Cups going inside
that
your
will happen.
That is another next level futuristic type thing that will be similar to this out of this world experience that's going to be the return of the masterminds that is going to be happening when, Fred?
Oh, in August. I love it. August 4th through the 6th in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Come on now, you better be there. We're gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna have a whole lot of fun. So make sure you guys don't miss out on that. Get your tickets, go to their website. It's gonna be a blast. We get to host on the 5th. We're gonna actually MC the whole event that day. What? Yeah, we're doing it. My coffee, getting up in the heezy. So, and also don't forget, we're gonna be at Digital Dealer.
And that's what I was gonna ask you. Are you gonna be at Digital Dealer?
So I am planning on going to Digital Dealer. It's like a 90% thing right now because you guys know I just moved from South Carolina to Colorado. I live in a town of 680 people and I know two. And I have two pit bulls. I rescue. My pitties are real life. So I'm trying to find a pity sitter at the moment. And it's a little difficult. So if I can find somebody to keep the pups for that week, yes, I'm going to be there for sure.
Well, we really hope that you're able to be there.
Me too.
A historic event for the
everybody I know is going to be there, and
I think everybody's going to
be there. So
it's like the first in-person event, so everyone's like, "Let's go!" So we'll be there. We have a booth with, and what's amazing, I'm excited about it. Yeah, it's neat because the whole team that we put together, the quote, and it's funny because it's really close to what you have here. It's "We're better together." And we're going to be there with some amazing people. You know, the Dealership Toolkit, I love them, with Liz Martin and Richard Delancey. Them two are some special people that have really brought us in in their hearts and allowed us to be who we want, helping us currently come up with trying to come up with a new process that Lou and I are trying to put out there in the market, and they're helping us develop it right now. And we're excited. They're great people, and we're excited to come out there and have a good time emceeing, bringing up speakers, talking to them, getting things going, doing the Forgive, Focus, Fly. So hopefully you're there so we can,
I would love to be. I'm trying my best.
It's going to be happening. Car Guy Conga Line. It's going to be out there. You're going to need to be on it.
Well, if you're going to Conga Line, I can't miss that.
Lou's the master he's the master DJ when it comes to like all the line dances. There's songs that come, I'm like, I don't even know that one, man. Never even seen it. He's out there doing it.
Hey, it doesn't matter. Let's do it this way. Just make up a move.
So
You know, a little known fact that very few people know about me. I actually used to DJ. My dad DJs.
What?
Like
Oh.
it's in my blood. There's some pictures of me with turntables from a few years ago, and yeah.
Oh man,
Oh,
A lot of
you
people
see,
don't know that.
this is where you were with me, this cool level,
Yeah,
right?
now
It just went
got
like this.
outta here. That's what I'm talking
No,
about.
it's so
My dad's
hard.
been
Wow.
DJing on the side since I was a little kid.
Wow.
And,
That's what I'm talking
We're
about.
gonna have to
there's
put
pictures
that.
of me being like 4, and I'm with my dad, and my dad's doing an event or something. He's an engineer by trade. He works for GE. But yeah, he DJs on the side, and he passed that on to me. So
You made. I mean, seriously, that just made you that much cooler. I'm so excited about that. I mean,
not a lot of people
for
know
real.
that. I'll send you guys
Yep.
some pics. It's kind of fun.
Now we're gonna have.
Now
We're putting that out as a
here's the
promo.
invitation. We're doing this right here live. on
I am
the
not for
show.
hire. I do not have time to DJ your event. Just
No, I
to
can
put that
imagine.
disclaimer out, but I do.
Not right now.
If you do see Miss Michelle McLain over at the Digital Dealer event, we are going to give her the opportunity to go ahead and spin a couple tracks if she would like. She does not have to get her own booth for that, folks. We will set it up for her just to have a good time and spin it up. But, no, but seriously, that's
we got
awesome.
DJ Queen.
Yeah, we got the
in the
Queen.
clubhouse.
Yeah. Oh man, that's okay. So yeah.
Tomorrow, my Instagram box is going to be like, I have this event. Can Michelle DJ?
Yes,
Can
yeah,
Michelle
dude,
DJ
you already
event?
know it.
Exactly.
You already know it.
Yes. And
I
you
love
can,
it.
why not, right? That would be such a
I'll call my
blast.
dad up, be like, Dad, can you plug all the equipment? Like, oh, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. My sister runs a DJ company right now. She does she tours Long Island, doing different
Awesome.
karaoke's in different areas. So
Long Island.
it's close to my heart. This last weekend for my niece, I actually was brought back out. Had to dust off some of the moves and some of the actual MCing to get that entire party going. I ended up DJing the entire wedding reception and just making sure that it was still a great party. And which is good anyway, because, you know, if you have a whack DJ, I am the first one to be like, oh, come on, man. Come on. We need to get this together. Excuse me.
My dad
Give me
is
the mic.
super
Give me the
old
mic.
school. Like, he literally still uses like brick and mortar turntables, and my dad's vinyl
Coming in
collection
with crates.
is insane. My dad's vinyl collection would blow you away. I bet he's got probably 50,000, like no joke, 50,000 LPs and 45s. And,
Oh my
I used to run him with virtual DJ
It's
and like
just
the mixer
fun.
board, and my dad's like setting it all up with his turntables.
He's like, it doesn't sound as good as this, young lady.
Nope.
Watch out.
Let me tell you something.
Nope. Oh, my dad is he's so cool too. Like
That is
so when I
cool.
moved to Colorado, he actually made me the very first ever one of his own MP3s. He put like 300 songs on it, but he's always been about vinyl, or he'll put it on cassette because he thinks that the sound quality of a CD is garbage. So for him to put all these songs, and he made it the exact distance from when I left his house in Cincinnati, I came to visit to Colorado, and I had an MP3 of all
That's
of
a
my
good
dad's DJ quality music.
Oh, dude.
So
He just made
it's
sure
cool.
that you put a room for him when he gets older in the house.
He will be here next month. My mom is coming June 1st, so that's what I've been working on, getting my guest rooms together.
Well, congratulations on all that. And that's such a cool way to send you off on a trip across country to your new home.
And thank you for the idea.
That's when you left Cincinnati, right?
Well, I lived in South Carolina, but on my way up, I stopped in Cincinnati on my way to Colorado.
I remember those posts. I actually remember when you posted about that MP3. Yeah, and about those. Yeah, that is a really class act. Way to go, Dad.
My dad's a
For the dads. For the dads. It's some good dads out there.
It does. Good dads out there teaching daughter how to DJ, getting her inspired, and then making sure she has music, because music is a soundtrack of life.
Music is life.
It does.
I cannot live without music.
It brings back memories and thoughts and feelings. You know, how can you not smile or even cry? Who cares? And the cries are actually beautiful tears. Sometimes you just like sit there, you get so emotional. Music can bring all that out inside you, every emotion imaginable. So yeah, man, you got me all pumped up wanting me to.
I mean, I'm in a different idea world now, because we got a DJ surprise action. You can bust into the show. We're about at question number 5.
Question 5.
I'm loving this DJ talk right now,
man.
But anyway,
DJ.
Thank you.
Well, DJ Lane, as you got named down here by James. So the question I'm going to ask you for number 5. Obviously, we've been through a lot of things already. We've been through your journey, and it's been an amazing journey. You know, you've shared some really deep deep stuff, and tragedy to success to sharing and helping one person a day, right? And to making that your goal and to making that your mission. You have grown even more. You surrounded yourself with people that help you become who you want to be. They encourage you. They put that light inside you that was already, they seen already what was inside you. You just need to have the courage to let it out. And you did. Now you're letting it out. You are Queen of Clubhouse, crushing it, CEO of her own company. I mean, come on. I mean, how amazing is that in a short amount of time, in a really grand scheme of things?
It didn't seem short.
Right, and it doesn't, because you put in a lot of work, because you burn the candle at both ends. I know that feeling. Lou and I both are on that same mission. We understand. So this is why we love hearing your story. It encourages me to go like, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep growing. Right. So we've gone through all this. We've heard your tragedies and in everything, and you've come back, and you are the light. You are literally a lighthouse. And when there's in the middle of the sea where there's rocks everywhere and they need guidance, you are that person. And I appreciate that. Now, through all that, what has been your greatest reward from all the work that you've put together and all the stuff that you've seen? What has been your greatest reward?
Watching other people succeed.
Yes.
I mean, truly, when you can inspire somebody, or when you get a direct message or a text message from someone that says, because of you, I didn't give up today. You know, a few months back, I actually got I got a Facebook message from somebody that said, I was sitting in my bathroom with a gun in my mouth, and I heard you on Clubhouse. And that's a lot of weight. That's a lot of responsibility to have on your shoulders, because I think a lot of times in life we go through the paces and we don't realize who we're impacting. We don't realize who's watching. So for me, like, the greatest accomplishment for me is watching someone else rise, watching somebody go from their lowest of lows to their highest of highs, watching somebody reach out, you know, and saying, you offered me an opportunity or a kind word, or you picked up the phone, or you were just there. And because of something that you did, my life is different now. And for me, that's the greatest reward. It's not about me. I mean, at the end of the day, we all have, you know, bills to pay and all of that. But for me, it's about the change. It's about making a difference. It's about helping somebody else walk in their purpose. It's about somebody looking at my journey or everything that I've been through and saying, if she can do it, I can do it too. That's it. Period.
Yes, we can. And yes, you can. And once again, this journey has just begun. This is just the beginning of Michelle McLain, Queen of Clubhouse. I got a feeling you're going to be the queen of something else before it's all said and done. Multiple things.
Follow up for this.
Yeah, when my favorite part are follow-ups, because we're starting to get, our show's been around long enough to where we're doing follow-ups with people now, year marks and all that type of stuff. So a year from now, 5 years from now, when we keep doing these follow-ups with Miss Michelle, I cannot wait to see where you go. I cannot wait to keep sharing your journey. I cannot wait to keep hearing of the successes. But also, as we are doing that in between, we're going to see the people that you have touched have successes. You're going to see the people that you've touched, the legacy that you're leaving on this planet for everybody. And like you said, it's not about the money. It's not about the fame. It's not about none of that. It's about touching as many people as we can and sharing our journey so that they can see that it is possible. And you make things possible for people, but you're doing it with so much grace. You make it seem easy, girl. But I do know when you hear the story, you do, because you do it with such pride every single day. You're so consistent. And I love that word, consistent. It's an important word to me. And you are the definition. When you look it up in the dictionary, there you are. I see you every single day. I see what you're doing, and I see how much work you put in. So thank you.
He keeps showing up. He keeps showing up. Things change.
Darn right.
That's right. I'm going to join my friend James Bernard and give you a whole bunch of hand claps, because that is exactly why we turn our light on every day. Is to be able to have the honor of joining our light with other incredible people like you that are raising up the torches that we've been given. We only have so long that this light's going to flicker, folks. And she is finding a way to make sure that everybody that she comes in contact with, one at a time, is understanding, or has it at least turned on, has that light flicked on real quick, whether it's from a kind word, whether it's from just doing good business, or
That's
it's
right.
holding people accountable, if it's telling people what it is that they need to hear, not what they want to hear, if it's honoring a contract, if it's making sure that she chooses her friends wisely, along with choosing her friends wisely, along with choosing the people that she does business with wisely. She does all of these things leading with love. And that's how we build these relationships that make the revenue become something that sometimes is irrelevant, right? Now it's not even a count of how many dollars we have. It's how much more can we do for other people? If somebody's suffering, how can we put our resources to work to make sure that the suffering stops for whoever it is? So that if somebody is out there and is so lost that they're willing to take their own life, I'm going to be committed to at least be where I'm supposed to be, say what's on my heart, share my gift, that somebody might be able to drink from a cup that I didn't even know I poured into. And then you can literally save a life just by fully expressing yours. And that's something that, again, we don't chase titles and we don't chase dollars. We call you the queen, but you are an incredible soul that is trying to love people. And
I
that's
am just a vessel. It is all God. It's
yes,
not me. It's
absolutely.
not. I am nothing
Yes.
but a humble servant that wears an invisible crown to try and help other people. Frank
Oh,
Lopes gave me that title, and
absolutely.
it was hard for me to even accept it. It's great, I guess, for a hashtag, but by no means, I'm just the vessel.
Oh,
Everything you see in my life is the work
great
of
brand for
a living
Clubhouse.
God. It's not me.
It's a great brand for Clubhouse, and you definitely don't
Yeah.
make it feel that way. And I know that
Yeah,
you put
absolutely.
where you putting all the glory too, right? You're not doing that. You're doing it for that glory. You're right. That's why you're putting that out there. You have to have people be aware of who you are. You have, if
Oh,
you want
yeah,
to share that
not me.
message, people have to find you. And that's the key. The key is it's not to hide what you have, it's to give it out in abundance. This way you can get back in abundance, and you do that, and you're going to keep. I just love this.
And that's what
This
he's
is
doing. He's
so
showing her
awesome.
So inside of that, Michelle, because I am definitely always on the side of making sure that we highlight the one that loves us, right? And that we give him all the glory for it. But that's what we're designed to do. The word
Yes.
says that we are made to be lights, and you don't take a light and hide it under a basket. You put it onto a lampstand so that it can share that light with everyone else. And the good thing is that there's people like Frank Lopes, and there's people like Ali Rada, and there's people like Damien. There's so many people that are those people that are stewarding the lampstands, and they're making sure to pull people to those lampstands. Notice, you have a light. I need to help get you onto that stand. You have a light. I need to get you. And that's something that the Clubhouse platform has done so well. It's allowed people that want to find a way to receive light and share light, get the opportunity to emit light. And it's all in sound. It's incredible. Right. And what's amazing is that that's harnessing a whole other superpower for you that some people wouldn't get the chance to see unless they were doing business with you, because we're busy business people too, right? There's a lot of business happening, right? And so this platform gives the
Facts.
opportunity for people to consume what it is that's inside of your heart and actually put it into practice where normally they wouldn't have that access, right? And I absolutely love that you give the glory to God for it, and understand you're only really operating fully in your capacity because you've understood the love that he has for you, and that no matter whether things go your way or not, that doesn't change his mind, right?
He just left the 99 to find the one.
The
And
one. Oh,
that's
come
what
on.
I
I'm
do.
gonna throw my headphones up in here. You're about to make me fling my microphone or something. I can't drop a mic because it's stuck on this thing, right? But that was huge. He left the 99 for the one. That's exactly right.
That's what I do every day. That's all I can do. God has given me a heart for people, and if I can do and walk in his steps and find
That's
the
it.
one, that's it.
He led by example, and you lead by example. And what's beautiful is we all get these examples from amazing people. Just be a human being and treat everybody right. That's what all this comes down to. She became a great salesperson just off of that one notion: be good to people. one person at a time.
Loving it.
I love that. And
Loving
you're awesome. You're the best. Man, there's so much great stuff. Share everybody. How can they get a hold of you? What's the best thing? When should they listen to you? What's going on? Tell everybody what's up.
So you can pretty much reach me anywhere on social media. I'm kind of all over social media. You can DM me. You can email me at info@theretentionmasters.com. You can check me out on Clubhouse. I do moderate Breakfast with Champions Monday through Saturday, Mondays and Fridays from 7 to 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have my own segment with Brian Benstock, and we go over 7 life or business tips on Mondays and Fridays. I do Wednesday with Automotive Giants with Robin Wilson, Wendy Reeves, and some other awesome human beings. That's hosted by Women in Automotive. And then I also am the co-founder of Pandemic of Positivity. I do those Wednesday nights at, 8 p.m. I'm trying to do the math, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And then Fridays at 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Time, I do have my own networking room. Fantastic human beings are in there. People like Lisette Goal, Elizabeth Lyons, Brian Benstock, Michael Cirillo pops in from time to time, Natalie Phillips. Like, it's a conglomerate of just amazing humans. And that is called How to Build a Network That Wins. My latest project is RetentionMasters. I'm launching that and getting ready to launch my Find Your Tribe Mastermind, teaching people the art of connecting with other humans. So
you are a master of that. You need to share that to everybody. The whole world needs to know how Michelle's been doing what she's doing. I want to drink some of that Kool-Aid. You know what I mean? So no, definitely awesome stuff. Way to keep growing. You see this? She's knocking current goals down, putting in little goals, adding big goals, and she's making it all happen all at once. It's like, hey, look, this is what this hand's doing. Don't pay attention to this one. Magic. You know, but
believe me, there's some days I'm like, I don't even know how I got through this day.
It feels like it was magic also. But, but you did it, and that's how you keep showing people it's possible. You know, that's the thing. You know, it is. Everything is possible if you put work towards it. Faith without works is dead. So keep putting work every day. You can't say you're doing something if you're not really doing it. So don't expect results without doing work. So man, I love that. I love what you're doing. I love your goals. I loved, like I said, every year it's going to be something even bigger and better and one person at a time. And every year it's 365, at least 365 more people. You know what I mean? So huge. And what a night.
An incredible brew. I'm so thankful that we had the opportunity.
And did you hear that schedule though? I mean, seriously,
that's a serious,
did you hear her schedule?
Commitment to keeping a conversation.
And that doesn't include regularly scheduled client business. I'm
that's what I'm saying. This is just hearing her on social media, folks.
That's just Clubhouse.
Yeah, I love it.
And with full energy.
And you
like
wonder,
it's the only one. Like every one she does is the only one she does. Exactly.
This is my Breakfast with Champions.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
You know, she literally, you know, took massive action here, folks.
Yes.
Truly, when she took the name Queen of Clubhouse, she didn't take it with like, oh, I'm just the queen. She took it like, I'm going to be I have to, that's a responsibility now. I am that person, so I'm going to be that person. And that is so crucial. Thank you. Thank you for being my friend.
Well, thank you for having me. It's been super awesome to spend this evening with you guys.
We appreciate you. I know you got to get some rest. You have a big, long week of amazing shows and people to help and bless one person at a time. So keep growing, my friend. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We rise together.
That's right. We do every single day.
Guys and car gals, you know what to do. You make sure that you share this around. You absolutely blow up Michelle with all kinds of love and encouragement.
Yes.
What it is that she
Let
has
her know.
deposited inside of this
Put hearts in there for her.
Thank you so much for being with us, Michelle. If there's anything that I can say, it's really with all of my heart. Fred and I want to say thank you. Thank you so much for keeping with us, for blessing us with something to upshift and uplift ourselves. You really dropped some real serious wisdom, and we are grateful for it. And we are going to live our lives better now because we've been sipping on the solutions that you're pouring out.
No doubt.
Thank you so much for that. Car guys, I am Lou Ramirez, the car guy.
And I'm Frelin Arts, the subprime hero.
Solutions on the Car Guy Coffee Podcast with Michelle
McLain.
Thank you so much for being with us. Goodbye, everybody.
Have a great night, everybody.
Peace. We love you all.
Peace.
Thank you so much.
Peace.
We still say goodbye.